and a very warm welcome, viewers and pool fans, to Pro Billiard TV and the 2026 Predator Pro Billiard Series, coming to you live from the heart of Rome and the elegant Cavalieri Waldorf Hotel. You join us on day 4, and we're at the crucial point in our Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships. We're at the losers qualification stage, where the losing player will go home. The winner progresses through to the single elimination last 16 stage. And it's a real tough matchup. Wan-Ling from Chinese Taipei taking on Jasmin Ouschan of Austria. Two very tough players. This is a race to 4, best of 3 sets. Winner breaks format. Shot clock is in play, and as you can see, hand rack conditions, which have been making for some interesting situations from the break. My name is Gethin Davis, flying solo with you for this one. Get this losers qualification match underway. We do have on table 1 right now a match between Mu Yan Zhang and Yu Chao. Again, we're at this stage of this women's event where every match is a big match. And it looks like Wan-Ling has won the lag here, and we'll get us underway. Get the contact she would have desired, and that's resulted in a poor spread of the balls and a dry break. For Jasmin, she has a good look at this one ball and should be good to get on the 2. Now, having a look down at the table, as you can see there, the 4 doesn't pass the 5 into the bottom corner. So Jasmin's going to need to do something there. Jasmin has been performing very well here in Rome. She's only beaten until the winners' qualification match, her last match. And a tough one against Chen. So finds herself in the losers' qualification round here. She's looked to use the 7 to hold the cue ball. Finds herself the wrong side of this 3 to take on in the side pocket. Will need to really do something with the cue ball to get anything on the 4. I would suggest safety if that's not the percentage play. And recognizing that as a very good safety. Wan-Ling has the 1 rail escape. It's going to be difficult to avoid running the 3 ball into the 7, so there's a good chance that she may leave Jasmin on here. Played to catch the edge and has played that perfectly. It would be unfortunate if she's just leaked an edge of that 3 ball, but what a great response. I have to say, both these players have a great safety game. That should bring the best out of their escape game. Focus on the cue ball, knowing that the 3 ball wasn't going to move too much. Wan-Ling has options here to take the cue ball down table or to take the 3 ball down table. She's elected to go with the 3 and tried to get that cue ball behind the 7. Wasn't far away. pace on that 3 though, not leaving Jasmin anything to attack. She has just had a look at the potting angle for the cut. I was reviewing my notes for Jasmin. It did pop up that she won the 2010 WPA 10-ball World Championship. So she does have this 10-ball title under her belt. She'll be keen to add to that. Again, putting Wan-Ling in trouble, and then again, Wan-Ling getting out of it with success. Maybe a chance for reverse bank, but that would be very aggressive. I'd assume Jasmin to pursue her tactic of keeping Wan-Ling in trouble. Again, the pace of the table down perfect. For the one rail escape. I think guaranteed on what she will leave. Jasmin has called the side pocket for insurance as well. So far away from getting cover with the cue ball behind the 10. It's just stopped up short. An easy 3-ball for Jasmin to take on. Again, where that 4-ball is situated with the 5, may not be too much merit in going for this. Table has to do something with this 4 now. The 10 coming to the rescue. This opening rack, perhaps an indication to how this match is going to play out. Great respect being shown from Jasmin, keeping Wan-Ling in as much trouble as possible, fully aware of what she's capable of in open play. Yeah, a little look away from the Austrian there. Didn't get cover. And for what seems like an eternity, Wan-Ling to the table with actually a look at the object ball. With the 5 out in open play, she may feel this is worth taking on. interruption there. Hoping to be back with better sound quality. Jasmin behind the 9-ball here. She called a pocket for insurance, but I didn't quite hear what that was. Likely to have been that side pocket. Has the 6 blocked the potting angle? I think it has. Played that really well, bringing the 7 as the blocker. Both players turning on their safety game here. Looking at the 2-rail escape. Oh no, played the 1 rail. It was a very fine margin to get past the 5. In doing so, I'm just a bit too far, made contact with the 10 first. Ball in hand and a reward for Wan-Ling here. And after a real battle of the safeties, Wan-Ling Wang has taken the opening rack. It's over 25 minutes for that. And my apologies for the silence. Just sorting out a couple of technical gremlins. I'm hoping that's all been resolved now. And in this winner break format, Wan-Ling will return to the table for her second break. And, well, from the early onset, it looks like both players are prepared to exchange blows in the safety department. Both of them making some great escapes, but Wang just able to reap the rewards at the end there. And with ball in hand, made a very handy clearance. We'll keep an eye out for the other losers qualification matches underway. We'll bring you some live scores. Wang returning to the table, 1-0 in this opening set. This time making better contact with the break, getting a better spread, but nothing dropping. And more importantly for Wan-Ling, not leaving a good look on the one ball, in fact no look at all. So Jasmin will be looking to play the push out here, and will be having a good look to see where best to put that cue ball. Maybe even lock up a couple of balls. Did call the push out, played the cue ball up towards the 10. Wan-Ling's not giving this back, so she clearly sees something available. Maybe looking to put the cue ball behind the 5-7. Went the other way. And that won't find cover, I don't think, but has left good one ball. Maybe looking just to catch a thin edge. Bit like that. Cue ball's got enough pace to come up behind the cluster here as well. This is looking good if it's got the legs. It is. Wan-Ling may bring a jump stick with her. She has done. It's 2 balls to go over. Well, certainly the edge of the 3. Successful jump in the sense of making contact. Didn't get the pot, but has got a lovely second prize. Jasmin saw that cue ball come to rest. She wasn't too impressed either. Oh, she's been able to pick off a 2-rail escape here, sliding past the 8, in between the 8 and the 6. Bit of insurance. I think she called the 5 ball into the side pocket just above her glove on the screen there. Or was it the corner she called? I don't think it was. And in this 10-ball format, Wan-Ling has the opportunity to put Jasmin back into play, which she has done without even getting out of her chair. So that just shows how locked that cue ball is. And if it hadn't have dropped, it would have been Wan-Ling taking this shot on. This is a tricky one. Three rails. Needs to make a rail, though, with an object ball. And hasn't. Referee calls a foul. It was a real good attempt. Make good contact. Just not hard enough to push a ball onto a rail. And ball in hand for Wan-Ling. And this really was the only glaringly big problem for her, which she's navigated with good position on the 3, which will also open the 4 up to the bottom left corner. Good opportunity to extend her lead here. nicely and come far enough to not bring the 8 into play and hampering her bridge. Played that nicely to come the right side of the 5. Cue ball tracking over towards the left side of the table. With a bit of stun, bring it back nicely for the 6, and this layout really opened itself nicely now for Wan-Ling here. A little look over at Jasmin there. I think she can do sitting in a chair, and at the moment it's looking like Wan-Ling getting the better of the safety battles. Cue ball slightly overrun here. Good recovery. And has played that nicely as well. This 10 ball to take a 2-0 lead, and these are relatively quick races to 4. Matches can run away quite quickly in the winner breaks format. Wan-Ling Wang takes a 2-0 lead. Both these players in action later today. 4 o'clock, 3 hours from now, they'll be in action in the quarterfinals of the Fujifilm Women's Double Showdown. Ouschan teaming up with Pia Filler, who is in action on one of our other tables right now. And Wang playing with the young American Sophia Mast. So a lot more excitement to come here on day 4. Wan-Ling not having the best of her break so far. The stats will reflect that. We'll be looking to improve and start making some balls off the break. Wonder if she'll change her approach. We've seen over the course of the last few days, players in the main getting better results from the cut break. Not making the 1 ball as consistently as they would like to, though. This is a tricky one. There may be a path down the long rail to take the pot on. A little shake of the head. Maybe she's just turning that down somewhat. Yeah, that shot clock's not going to stop ticking, Jasmin. And she's called to push out. Clearly didn't feel that shot was on. And where she's left this cue ball, There may be an edge of the one, but there is a threat of a double kiss if it's caught too thick. So a tricky one for Wan-Ling to take on. She could give it back to Jasmin, but she's not. That's worked out really well. Played at a perfect pace. That one ball locking itself up against the 8. Jasmin looking to take the long rail to run into it direct. And that's not a bad result. Could have turned out a lot worse for Jasmin there, and that traffic still in the middle of the table for Wan-Ling to aim for, but didn't sell out. Well, she played that on purpose to take the energy out of the cue ball with that cluster down at the bottom right. Looks to have worked out rather well in the sense of she's covered line of the 1. Jasmin's got a jump stick in the hand. She's looking to hop over to make the pot. Good things can come of that. The 2 ball's not too far away. The cue ball froze pretty much after contact. Leaves this 2 very tricky. Fully anticipate Jasmin to persist with her tactic of keeping Wan-Ling in trouble. I initially thought that that was a bit soft, but it's worked out rather well. The 1 rail escape is on. If Wan-Ling can play a kick and stick here, good things can come, leaving the cue ball down near that 7. That's what she's played for, and that's what she's got. Oh, that's a great return. And if anything, that's just giving Jasmin the nod that you're going to need to make your safeties that bit tighter. With the shot clock ticking, she's played into the 2 full. That's worked out quite nicely in the sense of, I don't believe that 2's available with the 8 being in the way. There may be a shot where she can play the 2 ball up table off the short rail and just push the cue ball up towards the 8. Maybe bring it up towards the 10 either. There are options. And that's with the first rack, and lovely exchange of safety play and escapes, and Jasmin coming out of her chair thinking, I might not even be able to see this 2. And if she can't, the available 1 rail escapes for this are not really obvious. She's going to play through the gap of the 4-3. She is. Makes a good clean hit, but hasn't got away with the result. And Wan-Ling returns to the table with a good look at the 2. Having a look around the table, no real big trouble for Wan-Ling, maybe getting position from the 7 to the 8. But this is a great opportunity to take the hill in the opening set in quick fashion. Maybe not quick in the sense of time, as these safety battles have really taken its toll, but in scoreline, 3-0 would not have been my first pick if you'd have asked me at the start of the match. Delicate 4. 5 clearly passes the 7. Wan-Ling just having a second look at how she wants to land on this 7 to get up for the 8. It's not that often you see an opponent of Jasmin get the better in the safety battles, but so far Wan-Ling has come through. And she has also responded with some fantastic safeties of her own. Now a little flat on the 7. I'm wondering if she can play into the long rail and take the low side of the 9 with the cue ball to encourage it down the table. If she can avoid the 9, good things can come as well. Yeah, I think she was very conscious of making contact with the 9 and just took a focus off the pot. So left Jasmin a very good look at the 7, but she'll need to deliver a good cue ball to get back for the 10. Sorry, for the 8 ball. And that shot clock will not stop ticking. I think that's the best Jasmin could have hoped for from there without compromising the contact on the cue ball. Now, is she looking to play the 8 straight down and up the table? Bring the cue ball over towards the 10. Needs to kill the cue ball a little on the way. Oh, she went the other way, using the 10 as a blocker for the 8. It didn't take that much energy out of the 8 ball though, and has left it hanging. It looks tight to pass the 10. Wan-Ling's having a good look. May be able to cheat it if it's needed. She did not need to cheat that at all, and Jasmin returns the cue to the rack. Wan-Ling Wang with some fantastic escapes and with some good safety play has taken advantage of the mistakes that she's earned from her opponent and finds herself in quick fashion 3-0 the scoreline in the opening set, and will return for the break with an opportunity to close it out at that point. She will need to get a little bit more from her breaks. And while we just wait for them to rack, we'll bring up the statistics for you. I'll just have a look out across the arena. All 8 losers qualification matches fully underway. Over on table 1 is the match between Zhang Muyan and Che Chao. Well, Chao's 3-2 up in the opening set there. We don't have any first set results, but some big names out there. One match to note, which is on our streamed table 4, and that's Jessica Centino, the defending champion, taking on the very tough Pia Filler from Germany. And they're locked at 2 apiece in their opening set. And if there are any more highlights jumping out at me or set results, first set results coming in, I will bring you up to date with them. And as I mentioned, both these players will be back in action at 4 o'clock local time in the quarterfinals of the Fujifilm Women's Double Showdown. Now Wan-Ling Wang comes to the table with a comfortable 3-0 lead on the hill in this opening set, looking for a better break than what she's been getting so far. Dare I say, a little softer than her previous breaks. Got the balls moving. They started to spread quite nicely, but nothing making its way to a pocket. And Jasmin quick to pounce on this one, but it's got a very awkward bridge. She's bridging over the 2, 3, 6, and 9. She may be forced to bring the extension out. And from the overhead, that gives you a better indication that she's maybe, if she is just off straight, it's on the right side of the, or rather the left side of the one ball, so she can just draw back ever so. No, it wasn't. And Jasmin finding herself in trouble. And that 7 looks like it's blocking the one rail escape. Oh, went for the 2-railer. Was looking to just pick the thinnest of edges off on that blue 2. In doing so, went through the gap. Ball in hand for Wan-Ling here. 3 is available to the bottom right pocket, or the top right, as we're looking from the overhead. And that's really the most glaring problem. Oh. Did she finish straight on this 3, or has she got something to work with? As you can see, the 4 available to the side pocket, not the corner pocket where the 8 ball is. So she's going to have to move this cue ball somewhat. That's about as much as you could give it. The cue ball hasn't come up far enough. It's left the thinnest of cuts if she wants to take this on for the side pocket. Didn't know if she was eyeing up the 4-8 combination. That would be very ambitious. That wasn't far off, very nicely executed. Needed the 8 to come to full cover, has leaked the edge of the 4. Jasmin does like to play these shots, playing thin edges and bringing the cue ball around to find cover. There's a 6 and a 7, and possibly even a 5 to think about. It's the 7. It's going to be the 7, and it is. Played the 4 very nicely into the 8. Well, Wan-Ling's got a jump stick, and she's indicated that she can see enough of this 4 to take it on. This would be a great shot to make. Did make contact with it, legal. Hasn't got the 4 ball in a safe position though. This is certainly makeable for Jasmin, but look where that 5 is. It's quite straight. It's going to be very difficult to develop shape to stay on the offense. But let's not turn away from that last shot. Jasmin must be thinking what she needs to do to be able to put Wan-Ling in trouble. Because she seems to be getting out of it with ease. And that 4 has misbehaved. Now, even though it looks available to the side pocket, she may elect to take it to the top right corner so she can bring the cue ball back across the table for the 5. If she's got the angle, she may be able to draw. It looks like she is. She'll take the side pocket on in that case. And that's nicely done. We'll be looking to draw back from the 5 for the 6 in the bottom right. And that 5 was really the only difficult ball out there. It's been navigated now and quite straightforward here for Wan-Ling. One consideration is the 9 not going into the bottom right corner, but that will not faze her at all. Very methodical Wan-Ling, very unoften rushes into shots, likes to survey the table, very good fundamentals. And one thing I am looking forward to is checking out the live statistics to see how their safety battles have come out on paper. And that the first real mistake from Wan-Ling. Stretching, wanting to put a bit too much on the cue ball. Jasmin will not mind getting out of her chair to face this 8 ball. Yeah, a rare mistake. That rare mistake could give Jasmin the first opportunity really for her to get a point on the board and maybe ask a question of this opening set. As I mentioned, it has really been the battle of the safety so far, and the battle of the escapes maybe even more. And Jasmin Ouschan gets her first point on the board in this opening set. It just lights a little flame for her. 3-1 the score, her opponent on the hill, but she will return to the table and we'll get to see her first break, I believe, of the match. Yeah, a big thank you to my colleague Mike Salmon, who puts the effort in to keep the statistics for both this and table 1. And as you can see, no breaks for Jasmin as of yet. And we'll get to have a look to see how and where she's breaking from. The action over on table 1. And that's Che-Yu Chao has taken the opening set there against Zhang Muyan. And they're just kicking off their second set. Other matches to note: Pia Filler and Cesca Centino locked at 2 apiece, and Hong Jin-yu trailing 3-1 in the opening set to Christina Tagach, and also Shasha Liu 2-0 up in her opening set against Kristina Zlateva. Big matches out there, all battling for a place in the last 16. Strong break from Jasmin. Nothing dropping though, but really got a lot of movement from the balls. Not an obvious attacking option on the one ball for Wan-Ling here. She's made a call to the corner pocket, looking just to catch a thin edge of this one ball. Maybe that was as a bit of insurance. He's caught that a little thicker than intended, I believe. And perhaps the momentum shifting a little as the scoreline just starts to close up a bit. These are the opportunities that Jasmin likes to get her teeth into. Bit of work here needed though to get on the 2, unless she fancies taking a longer 2 on. As you can see, the 3 blocked by the 6 for the bottom left corner. The run out is going to be a difficult one for the player that takes it on. I mentioned a bit of work to do to get on that blue 2. Jasmin's played that fantastically, coming long rail, long rail. Gives her every opportunity to get shape on this 3 now. Don't believe it passes the 6 up into the top left, so options are limited. Can she bring the cue ball around the 7 and maybe take the 3 onto the same pocket? That's what she's played for. She won't mind taking the chunk of the 7, but she will mind where that 7 has landed. Has options to attack, also has options to play defensive here if she doesn't fancy pursuing the clearance where that 7's landed. She makes a good pot in the side. A long 4. I was going to say, and where that 7 was, there was every opportunity for Jasmin to turn on a safe. But on this occasion, that cue ball has misbehaved and has leaked around the side of the 5 ball. Still going to leave that 7 as a problem for the player that gets there. And that is exactly what Wan-Ling's made a beeline for. She wants to get shape on this 6 to run into the cluster there. And the 8 is looking the biggest ball to run into. Needs to be a bit careful. Good chance it will open up the 7, but it may leave the 8-9 clustered. Tricky shot. Would be a good time to make it and land with something good. Oh, and you couldn't have landed better. The 9 did not lock up against the 8. And an angle on the 7 to bring the cue ball round 2 rails nicely for that 8 ball. And this very much looking like the opening set for Wan-Ling. And having taken the better opportunities of the chances that she's fought hard for herself in what has proven to be so far a very tough tussle in the safety department. And also facing the threat of a comeback from Jasmin. She's in the position here to take on this 10. Marius Kiralinas from Lithuania overseeing proceedings. Just giving that cue ball a clean for her there. Important 10 ball. And successfully potted. First set under her belt. The scoreline would suggest that she has been running away with it, but she hasn't. It's been a very tough battle in the safety department. And probably Wan-Ling just getting the better of that, but that will probably be revealed more in the statistics when we get to have a look at them. But while we wait for that, just to bring you a couple of updates in the scores out in the remaining 7 losers qualification matches. Rubian Ahmet is 3-0 up over the Argentinian Soledad Ayala in their opening set. Shashalu is also up 3-0 in her opening set against Kristina Zlateva. Soa, who's in action over on our stream table, table 3, is 2-1 up in the opening set against Chu Chin Wei. And Kristina Tkach is still in the lead, but leading 3-2 in her opening set against Hongjin Yu. If you want to keep updated on the scores as they're coming in live, please do visit probilliardseries.com. Our players, well, they're just going to take the opportunity in between this and the next set to take a timeout. I'm going to take a short timeout with them, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more exciting set 2 action. See you very soon. And a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this exciting losers qualification matchup at the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships. Wan-Ling Wang taking the opening set 4-1 against Jasmin Ouschan in this winner breaks format. Races to 4 best-of-3 sets. And as we see the statistics, something I was looking forward to, especially in the safeties. 13 safeties drawn by each player. Just pipping it on the efficiency. Wan-Ling Wang and Jasmin only getting to break once in that opening set. So she will return to the table now to kick off set 2. And I have to say, she was looking quite good with her opening break. Getting good power, lots of balls moving, and she'll be looking to get the scoreline moving in her direction in this second set. A must-win set for her. My name's Gethin Davis, and I'll be flying solo with you on this one. Jasmin returning to her chair, another dry break. A look at the one, doesn't seem to have a path to the corner pocket. There is a combination available, but a good spread of the balls, the 5 and the 10 reaching corner pockets but not dropping. Called a combo, made the combo. Don't think she expected that one ball to run so far. And I think it's run into trouble as well. Yeah, it has. Made a call. Didn't pick up on it. May have been the 5 ball in that corner pocket, but 2-rail escape it looks like here. Make good contact. Always a chance that that cue ball is going to run towards the corner pocket. It didn't. What it has done, though, is left a 1 ball for Jasmin to consider. Needs to put a bit of a stroke on it. Likely to draw back across the table, as following the cue ball through may pick up trouble from the 7 ball. Doesn't look like she's playing draw. Perhaps was looking to find a gap between that cluster. That's not worked out, and maybe there's a window for Wan-Ling to attack this 1 ball. It's really if the 7 is hampering her or not. Doesn't look like it from the overhead. Played it delicately. Ran into the 4 ball thick. I believe she called the 5, so looking to play the 3 onto the 5. I'm just wondering if she was concerned about the cue ball running towards the side pocket, or if it was down to just wanting to feather the 5 in to keep the 3 in the open. She has missed it, and that's left Jasmin with the opportunity to take the same shot on. She did with success. 3 ball Staying on the corner pocket. With good position on the 4. Everything seems to be sitting pretty for her. Good opportunity to get this opening rack on the second set. Just finished high on the 4. Likely to be bringing the cue ball off the bottom short rail here. And the 8 doesn't want to misbehave. And Jasmin taking that out of the equation. Taking a longer 6. Oh, lovely shot. Made that look easy. Dragging the cue ball to take the pace out of it. Did take a rub of the 7, but that's not caused a problem for Jasmin here. Oh. That's not going to work in the sense of leaving it easy for Jasmin. She's got a bit of a tougher shot on this 8 ball. And good recovery. This looking very nice now for Ouschan to get off the mark first in this second set. A must-win set for the Austrian. And picks them off nicely and gets that on the board. And we'll return in this winner breaks format with another break. And we'll look to push forward from that. Just having a look out across the arena. A couple of first set results already in. Cesca Centino has taken the opening set against the tough German Pia Filler. Has also taken a 1-0 lead in that second set. And Che-Yu Chao, as I mentioned, has taken the opening set against Zhang Muyan over on table 1. That's locked at 1 apiece in the second set. Rubilan Ahmed, another Filipino player. She's taken the opening set against the Argentinian Soledad Ayala. And there are a couple of other first set results in. I'll bring them to you momentarily. Very keen to see if Jasmin can start making balls off the break, because she's been certainly hitting them with more authority, I feel. And she's turned away quickly, indicating no balls down. That 2 does look like it's blocking the pawning angle for the 1. And she has called the 1, so will not be playing the push out. And good things can come from this. There is a small chance that the cue ball could run over towards the 5-7. But first needs to make the pot, didn't. That 1 ball is running behind the 3-9. And if Jasmin was thinking that this match was never going to come to her, this would be another incident to add to that concern. But as we know, she's fully prepared to fight for it. She was just having a look to see if there was a window between the 3 and the 9. The overhead, well, I would say it looks just big enough, but she'll be forced into contact in the 1 ball with whatever she's left. She found the gap. Rail first contact on the edge of the 1. Yeah, and that's not worked out. So although Jasmin coming out fighting in the second set, may still be left thinking that the pool gods are just frowning a little. Wan-Ling looking to jump on this opportunity. Bit of work to do to get shape on the 3 here. Is available to both bottom corner pockets, but that 9 is hampering position for the bottom right. Going to be moving the cue ball around 3 rails in the very least. Oh, it didn't pick up the 3rd as it's made contact with the 5, but that's not worked out too bad for her here. Cue ball coming over the left side. The 4 ball's going to be tricky whether you finish high or low on it. Yeah, forced into staying low. These are tough, playing up the long rail past the side pocket. Not a problem. How's the position? Also, not a problem. That's worked out rather well. Teased us with that 8 ball, but has slid past it nicely. Needs to be a little careful here. Chance that she's going to be running into the 7. Does not want the cue ball to misbehave, which it hasn't. Always a little bit risky. Catching that a bit thick could have locked her in trouble. And a good look at Jasmin just then. Still looking determined. She is a true battler and will fight till the last blow. Needs that cue ball to slow. It has done. Wan-Ling, good position to bring the scoreline back to 1 apiece here. And for me, a very important rack. Jasmin doesn't need any excuse to get on a roll and feel the flow. Very important to keep her on a tight leash at this stage of the match. And indeed makes that 10, brings the scoreline back to level. 1-1 in the second set. Wan-Ling taking the opening set 4-1. And we'll return to the table with the break. And a couple of other first set results all coming in as we just take a look over at table 1. That is the matchup between Zhang Muyan and Che-Yu Chao. Chao currently leading 1-0 in sets, but Zhang Muyan firing back 2-1 in their second set there. And the remaining matches, the 2 that I forgot to mention last time, Christina Tkach has taken that opening set against Hong Jin-Yu. They will be beginning their second set shortly. And the remaining match between So Soa and Chu Chim Wei, or Wei Wei, they're still locked in a tight battle in their opening set. 3-2 in favor of So Soa there. And that match looking like being an absolute scorcher. That's over on table 3 right now. Wan-Ling Wang to break. Second set tied at 1 apiece. Yeah. Both players not getting rewarded from their breaks as of yet with any consistency. This one ball sitting pretty over the corner pocket. Jasmin having a quick inspection to see what trouble layeth. The 5 seems to pass the 8. The 6 is in a tricky spot if it's not comfortable for the side pocket. And now I have a look at that 4 from the overhead. It does not pass the 10. So 3 to 4 will be the shot. I'm not sure what pocket is available, if any, for it right now. I do like where it is positioned by the 9 for taking safety options. We'll get to see what Jasmin has in mind here. She stayed this side of the 3, meaning she will be playing the cue ball into that nice open space to come around for the 4. Willing that cue ball over. I think she was looking to bring that cue ball a bit further over and then could play a stick up against the 9 shot on the 4, firing the 4 ball around the table. Not going to be able to do that now. Wondering if she was looking if she had the cutting angle to play it up towards the 10. The 4. May be forced into a containing safety. Bringing the 4 ball over to the right long rail. And hopefully bringing the 10 and 9 into play. But that's a delicate shot to take on. Ooh. Jasmin's face indicating, dare I say, that she's got cover for the potting angle on the 4, but where it's landed, Wan-Ling may fancy jumping at this. Although from the indication with her cue, she's playing off the rail first. Good clean contact. Not put the 4 in trouble though, and where it has rested, Jasmin may take the option of putting the cue ball into that cluster somehow. Oh, and she's looked to pick off the 8. She has, and that's a much better safety shot. If it's locked against the 8, even better still. Oh, as you can see, there's a little gap, which makes options a bit more plentiful for Wan-Ling. Good thick contact. Didn't get cover, but no real attacking options for Jasmin. We'll be looking again to find trouble for Wan-Ling. She may be able to slide off the right side of this 4 to take the cue ball between the gap of the rail and the 5. She's looked to put the 4 through that gap. It hasn't. And that kick off the 5 has thrown it towards the corner pocket with no cover. Well, I said no cover. Maybe the 8 is hampering it. I would suggest, from the fact Wan-Ling is staying down at that corner of the table, that she may be forced into playing the rail first. And the other concern is what to do with the 5 ball. Will she play this gently? No, she didn't. She could see it cleanly. Look to draw back into the 8 to knock it out the way. Hasn't worked out completely how she hoped, but she hasn't put herself in trouble. Good opportunity to play her safe here. And that will work. One rail pathway around the 8. Nothing are given on getting anything safe, though. I do feel the 5 is going to be heading towards a big gap. Jasmin just looking to see if she can bring it up 2 rails into trouble. She has called the corner pocket as for insurance. And that's not a sellout. Good contact. Focused on the cue ball to great effect. The 5 nearly snuck behind the 10 as well. Jasmin could jump over the edge of the 7 to catch the edge of the 5. But she's looking at the 2 rail escape. Great hit again. 5 ball going up towards the corner pocket. Looked like it had enough energy to drop, it didn't. So again, Wan-Ling succeeding with the safety play. Can she take advantage of it? She's had another look at the 7. I don't know if she's wanting it to pass the 8. I'm not too sure if it does or not. We'll see from the position play with the cue ball here. Good pot, good cue ball. If it does pass the 8, that's where she would have wanted it. Looks like it does from the overhead. Good pace. Great opportunity to get in the lead for the first time in this second set. And it will start to just mount the pressure on Jasmin, because this is a must-win set for the Austrian here. And she's going to have to dig deep, as her opponent is looking very formidable in open play, but more importantly is possibly just edging it in the safety department as well. And that will be alarm signs, as that's one of Jasmin's strengths that really does seem to keep her in matches even when the flow's not coming straight away. But Wan-Ling Wang, leading 1-0, has taken a 2-1 lead in this second set and is looking rather good. And thank you ever so much. We get the statistics as they're coming firing in from my good colleague Mike Salmon. And yeah, have a look at that. Safety efficiency from Wan-Ling Wang. 100% in this set so far. 89 in the first, and that was after 13 safeties were drawn. And Jasmin not lagging too far behind, but just not getting the opportunities to run out with. And that has really been the story of these first two sets. And if anything, Jasmin's safety play just needs to be a little bit tighter, but we shouldn't take anything away from Wan-Ling. She's played some fantastic shots, some great escapes. And she's to break, leading 2-1 in the second set. Well, again, not the reward from the break in making balls, but hasn't left Jasmin with anything. And again, forced into a push, you feel. As you can see there, the 7 looming large. And 1 does look available to that corner pocket past the 8. That's going to limit a few options for Jasmin here. She could decide to tie up a couple of balls. She called the push out. She's pushed the 5 away from the 4. Has left this 1 as a teaser on, but as you can see, the 2 ball doesn't pass into the corner pocket where the 6 is. Great camera angle showing there is a clean path for this 1 ball though, if she elects to go on the offense. No, and I think the 2 ball was really helping make a decision there. Containing safety. The 1 is in the open on this short rail for Jasmin to look at. Good shot. Good judge of pace on the containing safety. Maybe a pathway indicated by Wan-Ling there through the 10 and the 3. Off the rail back into the 1. That's the side of the 1 she wanted to hit. She avoided the scratch as well. And has got a great result. That 9 ball blocking the path clearly. The 5 was also threatening, but that won't matter. The 9's doing the job there. Looks like there's a pathway around that 5 off the long rail to make contact with the 1. Jasmin has called the 1, likely as insurance. And with the double kiss, has left that 1 ball in a safe position. So no one selling out yet from the escapes. Some good safeties. Wan-Ling looking to put another 1 in here. Wasn't far away. The 1 ball just leaked out past the 5. Jasmin looking to pick out the 8 to get behind. It's made contact with it, which has kept the cue ball
out in the open, but hampered by the 8. Nicely done. Didn't get cover from the 9 or the 4, but you can just feel it tensing up a little out there. You can hear a pin drop. This turning into a very important rack. Jasmin would ideally like to be returning to her chair at 2-2. A big difference would be Wan-Ling returning to hers 3-1. A lot riding on this rack, I feel. Nicely done. These players putting in such high-class safeties. Wan-Ling going airborne over the 7. Called the bank. Wasn't far away from it. How far's the 1 going to travel, though? Great jump shot. Again, I said it before, Jasmin must be wondering to herself how difficult she needs to leave her opponent in. But expect her to persist. Oh, needed to avoid that 7, or did she? That collision may have kept the 4 in the way, it certainly has done. So a little bit of fortune for Jasmin. It all has its way of working itself out. Oh, lovely shot from Wang. That was played to perfection. May have just left this long rail next to the side pocket available for an escape. But Jasmin just not getting her way from her safety attempts. Good hit. 1 ball. Not selling out. But not finding cover. So maybe the advantage just a little bit swinging back towards Wan-Ling in this exchange of safeties, but needs to come up with a good one here. Both players getting some fortunate rubs off other balls. That rub off the 4 has kept complete cover on this one. Not a difficult escape. Judged well. Good thick contact. A kick and stick, as we say in the game. Okay, didn't find cover with the 2, but good distance. Looked like Wan-Ling was just having a consideration to slide off the side of this 1 ball, pushing the 1 up behind the 6. Oh, she elected to go the other way and do it with the cue ball. That's not far away. Bumped into the 6. Got cover. But yet again, that small gap between the cue ball and the 6 has allowed enough of the side rail to leak out for Jasmin to play the 1 railer. hot off the press from our live stat man, Mike Salmon. We are up to 18 safeties played in this rack alone. So if there was ever a time to say the tension's building, this is it. This rack really turning into a crucial one. Neither player wanting to give each other an inch. Ooh, needs that to slow up. I'm not sure it has. That is a slip up. Now let's have a little look around the table. Been so focused on the safety game and the position of the cue ball. Be forgiven to forget that there's a lot more going out on the table right now. The 4-ball hampered by the 5 is certainly a consideration. If that 3 passes the 8 into the bottom left corner, that will be all bottom corner pockets available for it. It's not even a given that the 2 passes the 6 ball into the top left corner. And this will indicate that it does. And thank you, production team. The overhead just showing that as well. And this rack still far from over. It's a lot of work for Jasmin to do here. And this a longer 3. It's Jasmin looking to find the gap between the rail and the 5. She's come for another look. And as you can see from the camera angle, that 8 ball just taking a small edge off of this pocket. This is a big shot for Ouschan. Big shot, tough shot. Wasn't made. Got the position on the cue ball. Wan-Ling out of a chair. She may not be able to get position on the potting angle for the 4 here, but she'll be looking to make this 3 and be able to work some magic with the 4. Although, has she been able to pick out the cutting angle on this 4? She looks very close to being in that pocket. Wow. Oh, the clip on the 5. Something she was not anticipating. And it's brought the 6 ball into play. It's a tricky shot. Bit of misfortune there after playing a great position shot for the 4. Yeah, a little scratch of the head. This is a conundrum. Yeah, looking at 2 rails and just clipping an edge of the 5. Oh, it's silent out there. Oh, wasn't far away. Like I said, was just trying to pick an edge of that 5. There will be ball in hand to Jasmin. Very uncertain what can be done with the 5 ball. But if there's an opportunity for Jasmin to draw another foul, she will do. And she's played that nicely, using the 8 ball to block the 1 rail. The 10 ball looks like it would be blocking any opportunity to consider a 2 railer. And with that in mind, Wan-Ling's played it into a foul. That 2nd foul. And we'll give Jasmin ball in hand, but she didn't leak the 5 out on purpose, so that there's still trouble and no real opportunity to go on the offense. Three foul rule is in effect, so she could pick up the 3rd here. Yeah, it will be a rack on the board, and Jasmin quite rightly just acknowledging that to the ref. Marius Kirillainis keeping close eye on this match. Oh, can she just slide past the 8? It's not touching the rail, just needs to make contact, hasn't. And wow, 3 fouls brings the point on the board for Jasmin. And more importantly for the Austrian, with the scoreline at 2-2, brings her to the table with the break. And a good opportunity to get to the hill first in this must-win set. That was a tough one. As I mentioned, 18 safeties in total, and we were still on the 1 ball. That's an indication to how this match is going, and I'm sure the statistics will back that up. Now let's have a look out across the arena. Sosoa has taken the opening set against Chuchin Weiwei, and they are 1-1 in the 2nd set. And over on our table 1, Zhang Muyan and Che Yu Chao now locked at 1 apiece in sets. They go into a 3rd set decider. We'll keep an eye on them scores as they're coming in thick and fast. Jasmin Ouschan to break, 2-2, 2nd set, must-win set for the Austrian. Well, she gave that everything. A lot of body action, a lot of power generated. Still, no ball making a pocket. However, nothing to bite on with this 1 ball for Wan-Ling. Likely looking to push out here. She's left the 1 in the clear for Jasmin. Very much doubt Jasmin will give this push out back to her opponent. I'm not too sure what she's looking at. Maybe a gentle slide off the 1 to bring the cue ball up to the 8, and well, surprisingly, he's given it back. Wang will have had something up her sleeve. Not a bad effort. If the 1 had not made contact with the 6, that was certainly looking to find cover. There's certainly an edge for Jasmin here. Maybe not so helpful with that edge. May throw the cue ball up towards the corner pocket. Oh, she avoided the corner pocket well. Concentrated on getting a good 1 ball. Has come off the short rail a few rolls. But I wonder how many safeties we'll be in for here, if that last rack was anything to go by. Well, that's not worked out. Needed a little bit more of an edge to bring the cue ball over behind the 5. You just see Jasmin glancing up every now and again, just keeping an eye on the shot clock. Doesn't want that to interrupt her stroke. And on cue, it does start to beep just as she was dressing up for that shot. Hasn't phased her at all. Good cue ball and a good 1 ball. Great result. No cover. And that's really the result of that great containing safety from Jasmin. She's been rewarded with an opportunity now here on the 1. 2 in the open. Cue ball running the wrong way from the 2, but could use the 9 to block it. Oh, she avoided the 9. That's worked out nice. 6 ball is hampered by the 10. And position needs to be gained on the 7 afterwards, so still a bit of work for Jasmin out there. She's not comfortable with bridging around this 8 ball. She's just had a look at that 4. Perhaps looking to play it in the side pocket. Might not want to move the 8 though, because there's a danger that she will. And this is probably the key position shot for her here, to get shape on the 5. So she can bring the cue ball round for the 6. May try to bring it down between the 9 and 8 here. Be a cheeky shot to come down the short side of the 6. Maybe looking at the 6-10 combination. Bit of distance between the 2 though. I believe that's what she's played for. She's just come a bit too far. She's looked to the heavens. May be forced into playing safe here. If she's feeling optimistic, she may want to play the bank shot and draw up table for the 7. She'll tell us from a call, if she makes the call. No, she hasn't. That will work very nicely. That 1 has rubbed up against the 10, taking out a lot of options for Wan-Ling here. Fine margins. Very difficult to avoid the 10 playing it this way. Oh, wasn't far away. Felt that was a very tough escape to start with. She did avoid the 10. That's ball in hand to Jasmin. And this is the opportunity she would have hoped for to get to the hill first in this second set. That little nudge she made on the 8 has just brought it off the knuckle, making that ever so more available. And that will work. Not too much needed doing with the cue ball here. 9 and 10 in the same pocket. And Jasmin looking to put herself here on the hill in this must-win set. Fantastic stuff. And we talk about grit and determination. Any player would have been forgiven to wanting to turn their toes up at some points if they felt things were just not going their way, but through that grit and determination, Jasmin Ouschan's found herself on the hill in the second set with a very good chance of taking it through to a third deciding set. As we just take a look at the stats coming in for this second set, looking a lot more healthier for Jasmin. And as I just take a look at the offense and defense figures, some of the safeties have been out of this world. And just to reflect over on the arena, we already have a result in. That was our match over on table 4. Cesca Centino, the defending champion, has taken a 2-0 win over the very tough Pia Filler. So well done to Cesca, who's booked her place in the last 16. That 2 ball was tracking towards the corner pocket and has dropped. The 1's available. And although the 3 is dressed up against the 5, that looks on. We've not had many balls potted off the break at all. But on this occasion, dare I say, a small opportunity for Jasmin to go for the run out here and take this second set. Yeah, a little gap between the 5 and the 3, certainly available. Gently dropped. I did mention that early result coming in. If you, for our viewers at home, want to keep updated with the scores as they're coming in live and look at the fixtures and times for the last 16 and beyond, please do visit probilliardseries.com. You'll also get a link to the live stats as they come in shot by shot. You'll get the link there as well, also to our forthcoming events. We are globe-trotting now for the next few months, although we do sneak back in Italy for the Predator Euro Tour a few weeks from now in Treviso. A little look over at Wan-Ling there. Both these players will be returning for action at 4 p.m. in the Fujifilm Women's Doubles Showdown. So they'll be back in action in quarter-final action, in fact. That event has turned out to be so exciting. Some great matches, even picked up a shootout in one of them. But back to the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's World 10 Ball Championships here. Jasmin Ouschan is manufacturing herself into a very nice position. And this would be to take the second set and push us into a third decisive set. Nicely done. Come low on the 7 to promote the cue ball going up for the 8. Nicely done. Looking good here. Wants to leave just a little angle on this 9 to float down for the 10 into the bottom right corner pocket. That's what she's done, and Jasmin Ouschan proving why she's been one of the top European players of the last 15 years. And this 10 to fight back with sheer determination, and well, between the pair of them, we've been blessed with some of the best safety exchanges I've seen so far this week. And Jasmin Ouschan takes the second set, 4-2, takes us to a third and deciding set. As we just leave you with a little look at the action underway over on table 1. That's currently locked at 1-1 in the deciding set there between Zhang Muyan and Che Chao. And I will take a short break with the girls during their timeout, and we'll be back with you very shortly as we'll begin this third decisive set. Don't go anywhere. Well, a very warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this thrilling losers qualification matchup here in Rome at the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10-Ball World Championships. Wan-Ling Wang up to break for this deciding third set. My name's Gethin Davis, flying solo in the box. And after winning the first set in convincing style, Jasmin Ouschan fought back against Wan-Ling Wang in the second set to take it 4-2. And a dry break from Wan-Ling Wang will bring Jasmin back to the table, and this has been a familiar sight. Both players just struggling to get consistency with the break. What that has gifted us with has been some wonderful and lengthy exchanges in the safety battle department. Jasmin just starting to get her fingers back into that after not being so successful in the first set. And both players looking very dangerous in open play. Jasmin's finished on this 2 to be able to come back over for the 3. However, she's going to need to be particular with positioning for the 4, as the 5 only has the bottom left pocket available. It's up there locked with the 9 ball. But if she is able to get from the 4 to the 5, this clearance will really open itself nicely for her. Played that well. Should be able to float the cue ball through, maybe pick up a little piece of the long rail as well. Oh, it looks like she's looking to stay a little bit higher, playing for a better angle on the 5. Yeah, she's looking to come at it from the high position there to bring the cue ball round 2 rails for the 6. And this is the shot. And there's 5 ball to open it up quite nicely here. Jasmin will be delighted to take advantage of this dry break with a run out. And that's perfect. Just float down off this long rail. Will not mind finishing straight on the 7 either. May be able to draw back and avoid the 8. She just made it look as if she was anticipating the bump. And she anticipated it well. This now opening up to a very nice opportunity, not needing to do too much with the cue ball here for the 9. This will be not only the first rack on the board for this third deciding set, It's also the first time that Jasmin will have tasted the lead in this match. And not a bad time to do it. Replying from the dry break with a run out, and that's exactly what she will have been thinking about and visualizing during the timeout. Now, her breaks have looked to be a bit better, all in all. Certainly getting more power into the pack. Just have a look at the breaks on the statistics as they're coming up. Wan-Ling Wang having 0 success so far. 25% success in the second set for Jasmin, but more importantly, she's just been looking a little bit better on the power generated in. But again, you cannot hide from the defensive statistics in this match, and it will be one key thing to take away, how well these girls have played in the safety department. Both players eager to book their place in the last 16. Oh, and it's coming together a bit more for Jasmin, making the 1 in the side. The 2 finishing pretty. Things are starting to blossom for her here. And what a time. I mentioned booking a place in the last 16. The last 16 matches will take place tomorrow, 10 a.m. here in Rome. 8 players already booking their place. No, check that. 3 others already. 11 players have booked their place in the last 16. And some big names. And really good turnout for the young Americans as well. Sophia Mast and Savannah Easton already booking their place in the last 16. Yuki Hiraguchi and Chihira Kawahara from Japan also. And the remaining players from China, Shi Tanqi and Siming Chen and Margaret Fefalova. They were the 8 players booking their place in the last 16 from the winners' quali. Ooh, a little exhale from Jasmin there. Wanted to avoid the 8. Did sliver it somewhat, but that didn't take any energy, or rather enough energy out of the cue ball to trouble her. And a decent angle to come back out for the 6. This, what a time to put in a break and run. Very nicely done, and no real problems needing to navigate. The 10 may be in a little bit of a position to threaten getting sight on the 9, but these players will be way ahead of that. A little bit to do here. Only because she was a little straighter on it than intended and has brought that cue ball around the 9 and through the gap nicely. And this a great angle just to come back up towards where she will be taking this shot from. Oh, Jasmin. We haven't seen many mistakes from either player in open play. Running to the table. The 8 hung in the corner pocket. Needs the cue ball to run. Needs the cue ball to run. Oh my. I don't think she's got the potting angle here. She's called her extension. I didn't hear a pocket called. And that is the best she could have done from there, I feel. Nice shot. Would have preferred not to have been in that position. However, Jasmin, delighted to be back at the table, in fairness, with an opportunity to take this 9 on. Didn't make it. Was a tough one to take on. Wan-Ling to the table with a similar shot, but not as tough a cut. And if that slows down enough, this will be a bit of a gimme for Wan-Ling here. But she won't mind how she gets that point on the board. And it could prove to be a very valuable one in this deciding set. Scoreline back to 1 apiece. Jasmin out of a chair to help retrieve the balls. Well, I'm going to mention it now, ladies and gentlemen. If we do find ourselves locked at 3-3, we will be moving to the shootout. And I'm sure both players will be looking to avoid that. But at the moment, just looks like it's tightening up a little. Just a look out over the arena. We do have one more result in. So Soa has beaten Weiwei 2-0. And over on our table 1, Zhang Muyan has taken a 2-1 lead against Che Chao in the deciding set over there. So this losers qualification group really spicing up nicely. And it will be Wan-Ling returning to the table with the break here. And as we saw from the statistics, has not got any reward from the break as of yet. Jasmin just seems to have found a sweet spot. Can she respond? Did look like she had the one tracking towards the side pocket, but it took a big collision. Wan-Ling returns to a chair. Jasmin out of a seat. Doesn't look like the potting angle is on for the 1, the 5 hampering it. And a look of determination on Jasmin's face. She's not just a superstar on the table. In Austria, she won the Strictly Come Dancing TV show over there. So she's quite fancy on her feet. And more importantly for the sport of pool, she's a very worthy champion and a great ambassador for the sport, both her and her brother, and in Europe and beyond. Oh, that was a difficult shot to take on. Wan-Ling looking to jump over and pick up an edge of the 1 off the rail. wasn't to be. Ball in hand for Jasmin, and let's have a little look at the table. Every ball has an available pocket. And once that 7 ball drops, the 8 becomes available. Although the 7 is in a good spot just to freeze the cue ball for a longer 8. This is good opportunity for Jasmin. She let that opportunity go in the last rack. Will not be looking to do that here. How's she finished? She may need to push the cue ball through here, up onto the long rail, the bottom right rail as you look at the screen here on the overhead. Or has she picked out a pathway between the 5 and the 9? Needs to be particular, because if she comes too short, that 6 is going to come to hamper her. Played it well and did find the gap. And this angle, much preferable to bring the cue ball back across the table. As you can see from this angle, the 5 is available to both pockets, but when she finds the cue ball here, she should look to bring the cue ball back across the table, just above where her head is. And that's nice. And as with her opening rack in this set, and was in danger of break and running the second, she is very much looking in flow, was only stopped in her tracks by her own mistake. Yeah, fully in control. Has a little angle to work with if she did want to try and draw the cue ball back up around it, but I feel not moving the cue ball too much and taking the longer 8 would be preferable. Would have liked a little bit of a bigger bounce. But still looking good to play the 8 and the 9 into the same pocket. Ooh, pocket speed, asked a little bit of that. But still in good position on this 9. Jasmin Ouschan looking good to get to 2-1 here. Did jump the gun in the second rack, but I feel she's put that behind her now. And this 10 ball to regain the lead in this deciding set. And with her breaks coming to her somewhat of late, could be a very timely rack to put on the board. Nice to see both players getting out of their chairs to help their opponent in getting the balls back out of the pockets. I'm sure our referee, Marius Kirilinas, will fully appreciate that as well. As I went through the list of players that had already booked their place in the last 16 here, just useful to note 4 players have further added to that list, making success in their losers qualification. Christina Tkach has progressed through with a win over Hong Xin Yu. As I mentioned, Soa booked her place, beating Chu Chin Wei. Rubian Amit from the Philippines winning 2-0 over the Argentinian Soledad Ayala and also her countrymate, Cesca Centino, booking her place with a 2-0 win over Pia Filler. Back to Jasmin Ouschan, 2-1 in this deciding set. And again, making good, hearty contact with the pack. Nothing dropping, though. Been a familiar sight in this match, although Jasmin was just starting to peak at the right moment. Wan-Ling indicating that she can see the edge of this one. That's gone wrong. I think she was looking to use the 4 ball to run the cue ball into. Needed to catch it a bit thinner, I'm afraid. That's not a bad little spot behind the 2 and the 4 and 4 to get either the object ball or the cue ball. It was with the 1. And the cue ball has come up short from finding cover on the 6, so nothing to attack, but no immediate trouble for Wang. And talk about finding that sweet spot behind the 2. That's exactly what Wan-Ling's aimed for and found. This a tricky spot for Jasmin. Would expect her to make contact with the 1, but needs to hit it with pace so that another ball contacts a rail. Otherwise it will be an illegal shot, so makes this a little tougher. Great shot and even better result. That 9 ball covering most of the 1. Familiar sight so far in this match. Some big safety battles on the 1 ball. We could be in for another here. That looked legal. Our referee Marius would have been watching that closely. How can Jasmin take this 1 ball on? It looks like it'll slide past the 10. And with the angle she's got, she should be able to slide the cue ball over for the 2 in the same pocket. Or can she? I don't think she can. Oh, she could. A little deceptive from the overhead view there. Now just a little look at the 5. If that 5 ball goes into the side pocket, that will certainly help. Jasmin here. She's just come down far enough for this 3. Four to 5 looks to be the key shot in this closing pattern here. Oh, did it work out? She had to go that route. Load up with a bit of left-hand side and hope to get through the gap between the 10 and the 4. Took the 10 thick. Ooh. Well, it has to be said, that's another mistake from Jasmin in a great opportunity where the clear out was presented to her. She'd worked hard to get to that position as well. But that's what makes this sport a wonderful game. Now, Wan-Ling, at this point of the match, does not want to let her opponent get on the hill. Needs to take advantage of this. That's a good start. I don't think she called a 7. She did not. That's unfortunate for Wan-Ling. But very fortunate for Jasmin. She now finds herself back at the table. Her opponent not able to capitalize on that mistake. Now a chance for Jasmin to put herself on the hill. And you would have been forgiven after the first set to think that she was going to be down and out. Not a hope in hell. You don't get to put all of them European titles under your belt by worrying about a first set loss. It's also useful to note there's just been a couple of rolls that went Wan-Ling's way, a couple of rolls that went against Jasmin. There was a few moments during the second set where you'd be, again, thinking that there was just nothing going to come right for Jasmin. But you can never counter out. Especially when you get towards the final stages and they get a taste of the last 16. Moving the cue ball here a bit. Doesn't want to get too much venom on this cue ball. Hasn't played it well. And after fighting back with some heavy exchanges of safety play, Jasmin Ouschan finds herself on the hill in this deciding set, leading 3-1, shaking her head. She's not completely happy with the way that it's going for her so far, but she'll be delighted to be coming back to the table on the hill and with a chance of taking the match at that point. Not going to take anything away from Wan-Ling Wang. She has met Jasmin blow for blow in the safety department. Has probably made some of the better escapes. But Jasmin, through her sheer determination, finds herself on the hill. And let's have a look at the statistics. What do they reveal for this third set? Well, it reveals that Jasmin has been getting better and better on the break. Wan-Ling Wang not really getting any success at all. And that's probably what stopped her from really running away from it, because her play in open play has been sublime, as has Jasmin's, although two rare mistakes from Jasmin could have and should have cost her a bit more than they have. The usual look of focus from Ouschan. Has been making balls from the break. We'll be looking to get one here and have shape on the next. Dry and shape on the one for Wan-Ling. Good spread of the balls, although the 4 and the 7 have run up along the long rail. Again, shouldn't present too much of a problem, but a few things for Wan-Ling to think about. First things first, getting shape on the 2. She has done well. A little straight. Might be forced into drawing straight back here. Yeah, she didn't make it. Had to put a bit more venom to draw back. In fact, drew the cue ball back a little bit further than she would have hoped for. But more importantly, didn't make the pot. If you look from the overhead, that 6 may be in a tricky spot there if it doesn't find the side pocket past the 9. So it may not be plain sailing for either player here in the run-out department. Jasmin with the first opportunity, and look at it. Look from that camera angle. That may be able to smuggle into the side pocket that 6 ball. Be very handy if it does. Don't know if that's what Jasmin was just having a little look at there. We'll find out now. Finish perfect on this 5 to draw into position if so. As you can see, clean as a whistle. Didn't want to have too much angle on this 7. And be forced into coming across the table twice. Would ideally just like to drop this 7 in. Oh, she just brought her hand away there, like she didn't feel she got the best contact. She needs to brush that off. This now, 3 remaining balls to book her place in the last 16, and well, what will top off a really stoic performance from Jasmin. Early in the second set, it looked like Wan-Ling was going to run away with it somewhat. More importantly, it just didn't look like the match was going to come to Jasmin, but by hook or by crook, she's muscled her way. Back in, and the statistics will tell an even bigger story for this. But this 10 ball, big relief for Jasmin, and a clench of the fist quite rightly. She books her place in the last 16 here in Rome at the Banca del Fucino WPA Women's 10 Ball World Championships. Just looking out across the arena, still 2 matches in play. Samia Konichi trailing 3-2 in the second set against Venus Lim. Samia leading 1-0 in sets. And the other match still underway. Xia Liu and Kristina Zlateva, they're locked at 1 set apiece. Xia Liu has taken the opening rack in the deciding set. If you want to keep updated with all the scores and fixtures, please do visit ProBilliardsSeries.com. Coming up next at 4 p.m, just 50 minutes from now, we will continue action in the Fujifilm Women's Doubles Showdown. We're at the quarter-final stage there. Both players from this match appearing in them quarter-finals. And then following on from that at 6:30, we'll move into the final of the Predator Wheelchair Open. Some of you may have caught the semi-finals earlier today. Big thank you to our viewers for joining us. And a well done to Jasmin Ouschan, who books her place in the last 16. We look forward to having you back here in 50 minutes for more action here on Pro Billiard TV. Thanks for joining us. My name's Gethin Davis. It's been an absolute pleasure.